Loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing something different on my channel. I never thought about doing this before just because I didn't think y'all cared, but I asked on Snapchat because some people had actually requested it before, and I asked on Snapchat, you're like, yes, at least 50 people were like, can you hurry up and do this video? So anyways, now I'm here to do it. If you're interested to know how we spend our coins, our little coins, continue watching. Alright, so I'm not giving y'all the actual price of things. So for example, I'm not telling you how much we actually make, and I'm not telling you exactly how much we might spend on like rent and our car note and things of that nature, but I'm giving y'all figures extremely close to it, just doing it, just not giving y'all the exact number for my own purposes. But anyways, let's get started. So first thing first, I'm going to tell you the breakdown of how much we make. So for me, my total income bringing home every month is $2,300. So $1,850 of that would come from my job, and then $300 of that would come from YouTube, and then $150 of that is coming from my YouTube coaching sessions, which you need to order. And then Kendall, he brings home $2,300 a month. So $1,900 is from his first job, and then $400 is from his second job. So together, if you're counting, that is $4,600 that we bring home a month. So next thing that we do whenever we get paid is go down to our savings. So we save 10% each of our big checks. So 10% of my $1,850 that I make. So I save at least $185 a month, and then 10% of Kendall's $1,900 is $190. So together we save $375 a month. Okay, so the next portion of that is our expenses. So usually every month here in this notebook, I'll write down what our monthly expenses are. Typically we have the same monthly expenses every month, but you might have some miscellaneous things that come in and about. For example, y'all know that I'm about to get surgery, so that's going to be a miscellaneous thing that I don't always have to pay. But anyways, so I usually start with the things that we know that we have to pay, like no matter what. So first thing first is rent. So that is $1,050. And then next is our car note, which is $270. And then our car insurance is $100. And then another thing that I know we have to pay for sure is our rental insurance, and that is $30. So those are the main things that we know that we have to pay no matter what. We can't skip a month or anything along those lines. So after that, our next expense that I have here on our list is our cable and internet. As a YouTuber, you know that's very important to me to have internet. So we pay $100, and I don't think that's too bad because we have 3 boxes. So one in our room, one in the living room, and one in our second bedroom. And then our internet is like the second to highest speed out there. And then our electricity bill, obviously there's not a set price that we pay every month. It does fluctuate, but it looks like the average price of our electricity bill is $100 a month. Sometimes we might just even pay more a month, so the next month we can pay less, if that makes any sense. For our phone bill is $200, and that's not bad because that is 2 iPhones, and that's unlimited everything. So unlimited talk, text, and internet. And then like I said, we're paying on our iPhones every month. We have Jump, and if you're not familiar with Jump is the T-Mobile program where if you pay off half of the phone that you currently have, you can jump over to another phone. So if we wanted to jump over to the iPhone 7, we could do that. And then we also have our monthly insurance on our iPhone. Okay, so after the phone, we do have 4 credit cards between us. So with our credit cards, we may not pay the full amount that we have not maxed out. We may not pay the full amount that we have charged on our cards, but we also do not pay the minimum. So I think the minimum for each one of our cards are like $30, and obviously we do more than that. So for Kendall's Capital One card, he pays $100 a month for that. For my first Capital One card is $50. For my second Capital One card, I do have a higher limit on that, so I do try to pay up to $200 a month for that. And then we have a Target card that we share, and I absolutely love Target, so we pay $90 on that at the very least every month. And I also pay student loans, so my student loan payment is only $56 a month. You might think that's a good thing, but it's extremely low when you think about it. So I try to pay no less than $100. Whenever I have more money, I might put more towards it, but I try to just do $100. So when I got my taxes, I put a lot of money towards my student loans as well to help me out throughout the year. So again, I pay $100 to student loans, and my husband just graduated like 4 days ago. So as of right now, he doesn't have to pay student loans at this very moment, but that will be fixed into our budget as well. So food, that can kind of change here and there, but I did say about $250. It really just depends. If you watch some of my grocery hauls, especially during my vlogs, you know that we shop at Kroger's, and Kroger's tend to have a lot of things extremely cheap. For example, meats, we can go in there sometimes and get like a 5-pack of 5 legs and a pack of chicken for like 90 cents. So sometimes we just go ahead and just stock that up, so next month we may not have to pay, or we may not have to go out and buy chicken the next month. So it really just depends, but I did say $250 because you know how you also go grocery shopping but you still end up going to the store throughout the week. So $250 is what we spend on food. So with gas, I said we spend about $200 a month. Again, that's something else that just really depends on how much gas is. And then with Kroger, if you didn't already know this, for every 100 you spend at Kroger, you do get 10 cents off per gallon, so that also helps out a lot. But the thing about our gas is we do have a 2014 Kia Sorento, and my husband lives about 30 minutes away from his job without traffic. So Kia Sorento isn't probably the best thing on gas, so that's probably why we tend to spend a little bit more, but you know, at times it can be cheaper as well. And then the next section is the Mason section. So if you're not familiar, Mason is my daughter. So I did break that up into 4 categories for her. So for formula, we spent $100 a month. So the formula that we're using is the Up and Up brand from Target. So it's a little bit over 2 pounds of formula for about $20 to $23. So we get about 4 of those. It comes to about $92, but I just rounded it to $100. So, and I highly recommend the Up and Up brand because it's cheaper. Let's be real, all formula is the same, it's just different name brands, for real. So it's cheaper, it's more affordable, and it lasts way longer. And then anytime that you can take advantage of the Target sale of buy $100 worth of baby product, get $25 in gift card, highly recommend it. For baby food, I will say we spend about $30. So I do kind of fix her baby food into our food cost, because I do buy the baby food and make it, but sometimes I do get lazy and just go buy the already made baby food, and then you do have like the little snacks and stuff. So we don't always spend $30 a month, but I always try to put that aside just in case. For our college fund, we do have to save about $100 a month. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it is a little bit lower than that, but we still got a couple more years to go for that. And then I do have a miscellaneous section on here for her where we spent put aside $100 for her. Y'all know that I'm obsessed with Carter's, so I'm always in Carter's just in case there's a new type of baby product that I want to try out. If we need new Dr. Brown nipples, just things along those lines, that's where we get that from. The $100 goes towards that type of stuff. Next thing on our list is our furniture. So we just got our bed here. We pay about $60 a month for that. Again, it's not the minimum payment, but we try to pay up a little bit more than that. Then the last thing on the list is $250 towards household items. So that's the paper towels, tissue, any cleaning products. If I ever want to go to Bath and Body Works and get candles, a vacuum if we ever decide to get a new one, a new broom, Swiffer, all of those things that go into the household, we do put about $250 aside for that. Again, we may not spend that every month, but I just put it aside because you never know what happens. So after all of my calculations, that leaves about anywhere from $650 to $750 a month. Some months if we decide that we want to go somewhere, if we want to go home, so we have to stay in a hotel, that's food, that's gas, that comes out of that money. Sometimes if we decide, hey, we're just gonna stay home and do something around here, check out a movie or so, or go out for dinner, that's part of that money. just in case we decide, hey, we want to be boring people this month and just not do anything at all, or we decide to do something that just isn't completely expensive, we take that money and we pull up our credit report and we decide to pay at least one thing off of each of our credit reports, as well as to put some extra money towards other things. So for example, if we want to put more money towards like our rental insurance so we don't have to pay the following month, we'll do that. Put more money towards our credit card bills, we do that. Or we also add more money into our savings account. But yeah, that is our monthly spending. I hope we were able to help you. I forgot to mention we are a family of 3, so it's 2 adults and an infant. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and y'all have a great day.